I'm Megan Edwards with MiningIR, and we are here at the last day of the mining investment event in Quebec City. I'm joined by Luke Norman, who is the co-founder and executive chairman of U.S. Gold Corp, which trades on the NASDAQ under the symbol USAU, a company advancing gold and copper projects in the United States. Thank you for being here.
Thank you very much for having me.
So Luke, with over 20 years in the venture capital markets and as a co-founder of U.S. Gold Corp, could you share some highlights of your journey and what led you to establish the company?
Very good question. So I started out in 1999.
Okay.
I thought I saw a window of opportunity. I felt that the whole dot-com bubble was about to burst, and I thought there'd be a push for real assets. So I wanted to get into gold. I believed a lot in the metal. I've always taken issue with fiat currencies.
Mm-hmm.
So I embarked on trying to finance an early stage mining opportunity, naive and brand new to their whole industry. And after I pitched a few brokers, a couple of them came back to me and said, how about we'll finance the company, but you come and work for us. Spent 5 years financing a full array of junior mining companies. And then I started to realize the real problem with the junior mining industry is lack of management.
Mm-hmm.
So since then, I've gone on to form companies such as Gold Standard, U.S. Gold Corp, a myriad of different companies, ventures I've been involved with, and that's the background.
That's the background.
Yeah.
For those unfamiliar, can you provide an overview of U.S. Gold Corp and its primary focus within the mining sector?
Absolutely. So we are now a pre-developer, kind of a strange area to be in, but if those of the people watching are familiar with the Lassonde curve, we are out of the trough and on our way up north.
Okay.
We have a fully permitted, shovel-ready, which is, I think we're one of the only juniors in North America that can, attest to that.
Right.
Ready to go, gold and copper porphyry, sitting just outside of Cheyenne, Wyoming. Another little unique factor that you brought up right at the beginning is NASDAQ listed, so very tight share structure, only about 14.3 million shares outstanding.
Wow.
And we trade in the double digits US dollar-wise, and usually that can be confusing for a Canadian investor, but I think people are starting to understand the opportunity.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So U.S. Gold's flagship project is the CK Gold Project in Wyoming, which is fully permitted and shovel-ready. Could you elaborate on the project's significance and recent developments?
Absolutely. So a lot has gone on in our last 6 months as a company is why you're starting to see a big move and shift. Obviously, our share price has started to percolate. I don't think it's been nearly representative of the value that's in store yet. Mm-hmm. But in November of last year, we received our permits to mine. With our permits to mine, of course, that set us aside from our peer group. There are so few companies out there who have that in the pocket.
So the CK Gold Project has identified a significant aggregate component, potentially adding substantial value. How does this opportunity impact the project's economics?
Project economics just actually starting to improve. What we're noticing is as we're going through optimization, we recognize a whole bunch of attributes around the project that maybe were not represented in the pre-feasibility study, things that are going to be brought into the feasibility study. Now, I know I'm speaking a little eclectically there, but again, this is going to be news and news generators around the project. But for example, there is a lot of value outside of just our copper gold portion of the project that we have come across through the engineering phase. So it's been one of these most unique and fun kind of ventures that I've ever been involved with. And I will elaborate, and I hope that people take a deeper look into the company.
Totally. In addition to CK Gold, U.S. Gold has the Keystone Project in Nevada. How does this project fit into your overall strategy?
Great question. So Keystone was initially our flagship. So we built U.S. Gold Corp as kind of our second iteration of a previous venture that I was involved with called Gold Standard Ventures. Mm-hmm. So again, a standalone domal district in Nevada, pure exploration. It was a very successful company, and I wanted U.S. Gold Corp to follow the same pathway. Well, markets will be markets. It was not an exciting time to be an explorer, and we ran into a little bit of headwind. So what we chose to do was pivot the company in 2020 towards development of the CK project, which was already in the portfolio. Now, the linchpin or the key man in that regard is George B. So our CEO, George B.E.E. Yeah, well, people always think I'm just shortening his surname. George was the mine builder for Barrick. Built most of their production throughout South America. Actually cut his teeth with Barrick, opening Gold Strike, which was once a hill and is now a very big hole, about 2 miles long and a mile deep. So George knows how to extract gold and how to operate a mine. So I felt that if we wanted true validation and vindication for a project, why not bring in someone who's built the biggest gold mines on the planet?
Absolutely.
So yeah, it's been a fun ride.
Given the current state of the gold and copper markets, what's your outlook for the industry and how does U.S. gold position itself within this context?
Another zinger, truly. I think we're in the front row of a burgeoning real bull cycle. Why? Because gold made it to 3,400 and everyone yawned. That's not normal. Okay, the capital inflows are just starting to happen here the last 3 or 4 weeks. So you got to imagine, I've been through that 99, 2007 cycle. I've been through the 11 through 15 cycle. I've been through a number of gold cycles. The beauty is copper's joined. I almost treat copper as a precious metal now too. You think about the amount of, as we watch AI advance, for example, the amount of demand on copper relative to supply constraints. Gold and copper both joining critical minerals in the U.S., having that designation. So I've now monikered this the right stuff, the right time, the right place.
Okay.
That's U.S. Gold's little catchphrase. Yeah.
That's good. What should investors and stakeholders be watching for from U.S. Gold Corp in the next 6 to 12 months?
I think they should not take their eyes off the prize or fingers off the pulse of this company. There's a lot coming from our company. We are doing our final engineering. We're going to disprove the naysayers around CapEx. We are going to obviously be looking at other opportunities around it. I believe we've just press released, we've been included in the Russell 2000, which is, that's a real kind of attribute and tick, a box that we're glad to have ticked. So we're starting to get recognized for the 4 or 5 years of work that's gone in preceding this, where some of my closest associates in the industry had no idea what this company was doing and what it was about. So,
well, if anybody wants to get in touch with you or get any information, where should they go?
Absolutely, U.S. Gold Corp. So our online website, of course, www. Do I even have to say that anymore? usgoldcorp.com.
Okay.
Or .gold if you prefer.
Sure.
And on there is everything from our contact to our presentation to some really in-depth information about Wyoming, our location, everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate it.